I'm not sure if this was a smart move, but clearly South Africans are hurtful. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to News in 5. I'm your host Joe Emilio. Thanks for tuning in. So you guys remember that earlier on this week I spoke about how the IEC bragged about having 1 million new voters registered. Turns out that number was incorrect. It's actually 2.9 million voters, which is a good thing. But in some parts of South Africa, the IEC was actually kicked out from the community. Residents stop IEC registering voters in Philippi. Community leaders say elections make no difference to their terrible living conditions. Aggrieved residents of Marikana, informal settlement in Philippi East, Cape Town, chased away the Independent Electoral Commission officials who came to register voters this past weekend. Residents told GroundUp they have given up on the electoral process. An IEC station had been set up to enable tens of thousands of shack dwellers to register as voters for the upcoming general elections. A resident told GroundUp there was chaos at the registration station minutes after the IEC set up their systems when members of the community came to chase them away. The officials walked out of the station, of course scared for their lives because they were intimidated, but the community leaders protected them. Politicians have failed us dismally. They told GroundUp they will not allow the IEC to operate in Marikana until their living conditions improve. He said it was the first step of many to come to show that we are fed up with being bullied. We've been staying here for almost a decade, but still we do not have the simplest basic services, one being electricity. Well, I hate to break it to this resident at Marikana, but that goes for a lot of South Africans. We don't have electricity because of load shedding, but I know what he's trying to say. But here's the problem with what he's trying to say, or this individual is trying to say. They stay on an informal settlement. Now, for those of you who may not know, informal settlements are residential areas that do not comply with local authority requirements for conventional or formal townships. They are typically unauthorized and are invariably located upon land that has not been proclaimed for residential use. And that part is very important at the end. Located upon land that has not been proclaimed for residential use. In other words, that land is not prepared for shacks or townships to be in or on it, whatever, however you say it, because there's no pipelines, there's no sewage, there's no electricity cabling, there's nothing. But you want to come and live on this land and then complain that there aren't any of these facilities. And it's probably the politicians that have promised you that that's coming, but sorry to break it to you, it's not. So anyway, this community chased away the IEC, but there are some people in the community who are not happy with that. Some residents told GroundUp they had wanted to register. They asked not to be named for fear of intimidation. Yes, the decision was taken in a community meeting weeks before this weekend, but not everyone is happy about that decision because to change the current government, one must vote them out. But if we don't register and we don't vote, we can't change the status quo. It is a little bit foolish not to take part in elections, but at the same time want to see change. And I couldn't agree more. The ANC and politicians are not going to really care that you kicked out the IEC from the community. They're not going to be intimidated by it. They're not going to suddenly be like, oh, maybe we should now change things or whatever. You basically cost yourself the opportunity to implement change or vote for change rather in the country. So of course there are other ways for people to register to vote. There's the online system and all that. So I hope that these individuals will use that facility to register to vote. But for the other community that's angry, well, they should have kept that anger and used it when they went to the polls to vote, by voting against the party that they're not happy with. On the one hand, it's sad to see this reaction, but on the other hand, I'm kind of happy to see this reaction because it shows that South Africans, whether you are living in Clifton or Sandton or Sea Point or wherever, or you live in a township, every South African is starting to get hurtful of the current status quo, and it's time for us to vote for an ANC-free country. Call me naive, call me stupid, but I think the ANC's days are numbered. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about what happened in Marikana? And do you think the ANC's days are numbered? If you enjoyed this content, you might enjoy these videos. Don't forget to leave a like on this video, share it far and wide. Subscribe to the channel. I've got more content coming your way, and consider becoming a member to the channel and support the work that I do if you really enjoy the content. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.